pushing for respect is good. Pushing for that significance is good, but only as one frame of your identity. Like, you have to have multiple sources of self-esteem, and significance and respect is one of them, but not allowing that to dictate all the terms, because then you're not able to be grateful for the money. You're not able to be grateful for the freedom, because your respect is the only frame of reference that you're working at. Like, there's guys with $100 million who are angry all the time, because they didn't get that last deal, or someone wrote an article about them, right? Because it's not about the money for them. It's purely about respect and about status and about significance, and that will choke you out. So it's really important to decode that message and see it for what it is, so that you can mitigate the negative consequences. I think it's good to push for respect and success in the external world. This is where psychologists will disagree. They think every solution is within yourself. I really don't. Just like I think getting jacked is a great solution if you felt small in your life. Getting successful is a great solution if you felt insignificant. Just don't let it be the only thing. And don't manage the expectations. Like, understand that you're going through the airport, you're going to feel disrespected. You go to a decent amount of restaurants or convenience stores, you're not going to feel particularly respected. So in those cases, and this is what I advise my clients to do, is start with the structural solution. Just get rid of those places. If you're not being treated well, go where you're treated well. Stop going to that restaurant. Stop living in that neighborhood. Stop being around those people, and then double down, triple down on the places that treat you well. There's a restaurant next door to where I am right now. There's a steakhouse. Everyone there knows me by name. Every time I've been in there, I leave a generous tip. So I can walk in there and and people will come to the door and shake hands with me. If I want to take a girl out for the first time, I'm taking her over there because I know I'm getting respected. And in return, I give that place a lot of business. To this day, I don't like disrespect. I don't think anybody does, but I can mitigate that situation. Just be like, you know what? I'm getting a bad vibe from this place. I don't have to be here. Or I don't have to be in this country, or I don't have to be around these people. I don't have to fight for respect and it's not high school or university. I don't have to fight for that anymore, right? I can divert all that attention towards business and towards creating that out. Blasting that to millions of people, right? A lot of guys spend their quest for respect on trying to, be a bar star, try and dominate like a very small area, right? And have that be their thing instead of trying to build a large business. But then that respect is just a part of what can make you happy. Like, in addition to physical activity, spiritual sex, helping people, laughing with your friends, feeling good about yourself because you've helped people, reading books, all these things, having that richness of life is really important. Having multiple areas of self-esteem and understanding of this stuff, understanding of that freedom. This is, a lot of guys in sort of my space of the internet, they're talking about wage slavery and feeling enslaved and trapped. That's disrespect is what it is, right? That's why they hate their job, because they're not feeling validated, man. So understand that that's a lot of what's motivating you, but don't let it strangle you. Just let it be a piece of what you're doing. Get the external references, get the external success, okay? Don't let some therapist talk you out of that, but do the inner work too. And don't let it be the only thing that you have, okay? most common thing in the world is a wealthy, miserable person. You know, I spent until this year, I spent like 4 years in Thailand. People there are significantly happier than in Canada, where I'm from, and they have significantly less money because they focus on happiness and they're not caught up all the time in self-image. They're not trying to be this thing. They're not trying to think how an assistant marketing manager would like act in a situation and like the right shoes to wear or whatever. They don't give a shit. They'll wear Crocs and a Mickey Mouse t-shirt and just drive it's a little like $500 scooter, because they're not living in their image and they're not getting choked out by that sense of significance. So let it motivate you to do well and to get the treatment that you feel you deserve, and create structural solutions, like go to the places where you're treated well, go to restaurants where you're treated well, move to a neighborhood and make sure you're in the country where you're treated well around people that treat you well. Try and minimize situations where you're not going to be treated well, like airports. You guys know I hate travel. That's one of the reasons. I mean, they got you taking off your fucking shoes. Like, it's one step away from squat and cough, you know. It's one step away from a fucking cavity search. So I try and minimize, you know, doing that shit, or going to countries where I'm not going to be in customs for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So that's important, but then just letting it be just one area of self-esteem, man, and having those multiple areas of self-esteem, super important, and it's a game changer, because then you can have the money. Like, it's just a massive weight off your shoulders, man, and it's just a massive sense of mental freedom. You just don't have to be a slave to that. You don't have to be, because ultimately you can pull yourself out of wage slavery, but you become enslaved to your own mentality, to chasing significance, to chasing respect to your own detriment, instead of chasing it to a degree, creating as much structural solutions as possible, and, you know, protecting yourself from that, but then including that in a basket of self-esteem, with as many things that make you feel good about yourself and happy as possible. So, as opposed to a lot of concepts as I talk about this one, it was more just an exposition on what motivates you, as opposed to how to do something. And I want to do a bit more of these types of things, because this is what really interests me, sort of the deep insight behind people and what makes us do things. And so let me know if you found this useful, if you like this kind of content.